paid-for advertising. Politicians can engage with voters. Their messages can go viral. Supporter groups can rally and massively big up a candidate's message. We even judge how important that message is based on the number of retweets it gets. So it's probably quite important to know that not all these Twitter users are real. They are fake followers run by political campaigns to amplify certain topics, follow certain people, and target others. These are the political Twitter bots.
Well, the bots will take the message and repeat it an hour later, and maybe 2 hours and 3 hours later. They'll send it off to their own networks of followers, tens, 20,000 times beyond what the politician can initially reach with their own follower list.
Phil Howard is a professor of political science at the Oxford Internet Institute, whose research has revealed that political campaigns are now routinely using bots for all of these things, including deflecting Donald Trump's comments about Mexican Americans.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
He made a claim that Mexican American voters would support him, would be voting for him in a big way. And shortly after making this big claim, there was a community of Latino Twitter bots. So folks with Mexican-sounding names who were U.S. citizens and using Twitter to voice their support for Trump. A little bit of research showed that these were all new users. They weren't actually users. They were bots tweeting the same message, sometimes exactly the same message, right, within seconds of each other. And so he was able to say, Mexican Americans will vote for me, and point to a community that was actually just a ghost of a community.
There are very strict rules governing what the media can report during an election campaign. To your knowledge, are there rules that cover social media like Twitter?
I think there should be more public policy oversight over social networks, social media networks during elections. In the U.S. context, the Federal Elections Commission there has decided that electronic communications are not part of what it manages. That's a problem.
Many bots have specific traits. For example, they'll be following many more accounts than they have followers themselves. They might have blank or irrelevant profile pictures and names. And they may be tweeting at an inhumanly fast rate. High-quality bots, however, will look a lot more human. In fact, they may even be connected to a real human who can give occasional real responses.
There's actually a market in these false accounts, and so you buy 1,000 users who look good. They'll join 5, 10 at a time over the course of a month or two. By the time you're into the campaign season, 3 weeks before, you'll have an active, lively group.
Who's running
them? Who's running them? This is a great question, and it's part of the research question for our project here. The people designing political bots often work for the political campaign teams that a candidate will hire, right, when they want office. Hiring somebody to write bots to amplify your message is now a normal part of political campaigning in advanced democracies.
But then there are the bots that, so far, haven't done anything.
This bot is an example of a bot that has joined relatively recently. It's following 108 people, but nobody's following it. And we think of this as a sleeper bot. It's ready to be activated.
This is so sci-fi.
It's very sci-fi. And my great fear is that large networks of these bots may be activated on the night of an election. Someone will activate bot networks to either bring out the vote or spread misinformation. There's enough bot networks out there, and we've seen them used in sensitive political moments, that I'm pretty sure they'll play an active part of political communication in the U.S. election.
For all the big budget deception that may be happening, social media does give each one of us a voice and an immediate channel through which we can vent our discontent.
Those are tiny acts of participation which in an earlier era would just have been too small. Politics was much lumpier. You would have had to join a political party, you would have had to go to a very long meeting.